This is an ABC News update. Hurricane Irma. Now reporting, David Muir.
Good evening from Naples tonight, where you can see the conditions beginning to worsen as we speak. Already the water's churning here out in the ocean, and it is pouring now here in Naples. A full 24 hours before the eye of this hurricane is expected to be right over Naples. They're expecting winds of 100 miles per hour or more, lasting several hours here across much of western Florida. Let's take you right to the track. A lot of attention paid to this track today because of its westward shift, and we've now begun to see Hurricane Irma start to make that turn to the northwest. Tornado watch is in effect until midnight in southern Florida. Irma is expected to slam the Florida Keys at dawn and then march right up the coast, right here to Naples, Fort Myers, Tampa, all on alert tonight. And look at this, the eerie desolation of downtown Miami, captured on video by a police patrol car. Authorities do not want people to take this lightly there. The storm surge is what they're worried about in that part of the state. 7 million evacuees seeking safety from Florida to Georgia. And look at this hockey arena in southwest Florida, completely packed tonight. Those are people who heeded the warnings today when that track began to shift more westward. Let's get to Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z. She's tracking it all for us. Ginger?
And David, that track hasn't moved much now. Look at this, 2 a.m. Sunday, the worst side of the storm right over Key West. Then it moves north and by the afternoon over Naples. Finally, Monday morning in Tampa and eventually into Georgia by late Monday into Tuesday. So that's the track, but here are the impacts. Storm surge, the #1 threat. 5 to 10 feet, that includes Tampa Bay. 10 to 15 includes Marco Island. Miami, 4 to 6. And here are the wind gusts at noon tomorrow. Just to give you an idea of one of the hours, 127 miles per hour at Marathon. Up to 15 inches of rain could come with this storm, too. David?
So the storm surge, 15 inches of rain, 127 mile per hour winds, as you heard Ginger just say there. But the worry right now, possible tornadoes, and ABC's Gio Benitez is in Miami for us. Gio.
David, right now we are feeling the incredible power of these outer bands. The eye may be by Cuba, doesn't matter. We are feeling those gusts. We are feeling the rain. These are exactly the kinds of conditions that could actually create those tornadoes. That's why it's just so dangerous. Tens of thousands of people are already without power across South Florida. David?
All right, Gio Benitez, Gio, our thanks to you. You can download the ABC News app now for breaking news alerts on Irma, and we go on the air 6 a.m. Eastern live tomorrow morning from right here in Florida. I'm David Muir. Send you back to football.
This is a CBS News special report. I'm Jeff Glor in St. Pete Beach, Florida, with the latest on Hurricane Irma. Good morning. This powerful Category 4 hurricane is just really beginning to batter this state with maximum sustained winds of 130 miles an hour. Anthony Mason is at CBS News headquarters in New York. He'll be getting the latest forecast from meteorologist Eric Fisher in just a moment. Irma made landfall about 90 minutes ago in the lower Keys, the chain of islands off the southern tip of Florida. The eye hit Cudjoe Key, about 20 miles east of Key West. Irma is now moving northward up the Gulf Coast toward us here in St. Pete Beach. There's a very wide storm. Hurricane or tropical storm force winds extend about 220 miles from the center. Some places could get as much as a foot of rain. Irma is already blamed for 3 deaths here in Florida after killing more than 24 as it tore across the Caribbean last week. Well over 1 million homes and businesses in Florida have lost power. More than 6 million people were ordered to evacuate as this storm approached. Many of the shelters in this area have been activated by the governor. In all, about 7,000 members of the Florida National Guard are working. We have a team of correspondents, producers, and photographers deployed throughout the hurricane zone. Manny Bojorquez is in Naples, which could get a big brunt of this storm and is already getting that right now. Actually, we're going to go to Manny Bojorquez is in Fort Lauderdale. Manny?
That's right. We are in Fort Lauderdale, where winds are expected to reach 75 miles per hour later today. And as you can see, we are well on our way to that. What we've been seeing here throughout the morning is these gusts picking up, the rain increasing. Any of these shrubs or tree branches that are not strong are falling into this canal right here. And speaking of this canal, I can tell you that from being here last night to what we're seeing now, it is definitely rising. So the concern here not just the strong winds that we're seeing right now and the rain, but of course the storm surge and the flooding that might happen. Here in Broward County, you have 15,000 people who are riding this storm out in shelters. That's what officials wanted to see, and the reason why is because those buildings are strong enough to withstand some of the impacts of the wind here, but also because right now you have a situation because of these weather conditions where you cannot have law enforcement on the roads. They cannot respond to all the calls that they're getting right now. We do know that as the storm continues to pummel this area,